In today's lesson, I want you to try something different. Close your eyes and imagine the situation that I'm going to describe. There is a huge park in your neighborhood where you love to play sports with your friends and go for walks with your family. In this park, there are some beautiful birds living in the trees. Sometimes you take photos of these birds and post about the birds on social media. One day, you find out that someone is going to construct a really tall building, a skyscraper, in this park. This is great news for your town because it will create lots of new jobs. On the other hand, there's some bad news. If they construct this skyscraper, it will destroy the habitats of the birds that you like. These birds, who are an endangered species, won't have a place to live if they build the skyscraper. Now, open your eyes and think about what I have told you. Think about how you might react to this situation. You can take notes in your notebook, on your tablet, or whatever you have available. Oh, and it's a good idea to stop the video while you take your notes. Let's continue with the lesson. After taking some notes, you probably have lots of ideas. And now it's time to take some action. In today's writing lesson, you are going to imagine that someone is building a skyscraper in a park in your town or city. You are going to write a letter to the mayor where you express your opinion about the skyscraper. You are going to learn how to write a new type of letter called a persuasive letter. You should think very carefully about what position you want to take, about whether you think the skyscraper is a good idea or a bad idea. And you should also think about the pros and cons of your position. This might be difficult, but you should try to put yourself in the shoes of a person who has the opposite position that you have. For example, if you think the skyscraper is a bad idea, you should think about why another person might think the skyscraper is a good idea. Let's take a look at an example letter that I wrote. My position is that I think the skyscraper is a good idea. When we write this letter, keep in mind that it is going to be a formal letter. So when we do the opening and start our letter, we should say, "Dear Mr." or "Dear Miss." Dear, as you might remember, is a formal way of saying hi. In this space, you should put the surname or last name of the mayor. If the mayor is a man, you should write "Dear Mr." And if the mayor is a woman, you should write "Dear Miss." Don't forget about the comma after the person's surname. In this part of the letter, you're going to express your position, and you're going to say the main reason why you have this position. Don't forget to be formal and polite. Even if you really think the skyscraper is a bad idea and that it's going to destroy a lot of bird habitats, don't start the letter by saying that the mayor is an evil person who wants to kill birds. Let's take a look at my example paragraph. I could start it by saying, I'm writing this letter about the skyscraper, or I'm writing in reference to the skyscraper. Both of these expressions are good ways to start your first sentence. I'm writing in reference to the skyscraper that the big construction company is going to build in Pawnee Park. I'd like to express my support for the skyscraper because I think it will bring lots of new jobs to our community. There, in 2 sentences, I have explained why I am writing and what my position is. The second paragraph will probably be your longest paragraph because this is where you clearly state your position and the reasons you have for holding this position. You have 2 options here. You could invent some information about your town or city and maybe a local park in order to include some reasons for your position. You could also use the internet to find real information about your town or city and include it in your letter. Both of these are good options. In my case, I invented this information. Firstly, the skyscraper will create lots of new job opportunities for our citizens. As you know, a big factory recently closed and 2,000 people lost their jobs. When construction starts, hundreds of people could help build this skyscraper. After the skyscraper has been finished, there will be lots of new businesses there. One important company, big online shopping service, recently said that they were thinking about moving their biggest office to our town. If we build a skyscraper, maybe Boss will open their office there. This will create jobs for computer programmers, engineers, salespeople, and other jobs that pay a lot of money. Secondly, I'd like to recognize that this will be a difficult decision. I know that the yellow-spotted condors will need a new home if we build this skyscraper. However, you could convince big construction company to build a new zoo next to the skyscraper. This would give the yellow-spotted condors a new habitat where we could watch them and care for them more easily. In this paragraph, you need to recognize or acknowledge that a person who has a different position from you also has a valid opinion. Remember that I told you to think about the cons and put yourself in the shoes of a person who has the opposite position? That information will help you here. In the 4th and final paragraph, you have to do 2 different things. You should say thank you to the mayor for reading your letter. And you should also briefly state again why you are writing your letter and why you have the position that you have. You can do this in just 2 or 3 sentences. Thank you very much for taking the time to read this letter. As I have said, it is very important to build this skyscraper to create new job opportunities for our community. I look forward to reading your thoughts about the skyscraper. So in this paragraph, I said thank you very much to the mayor for reading my letter. I reminded him why I was writing the letter, and I even gave the mayor an opportunity to write about what they think about the skyscraper. Finally, you need a closing. Some possibilities are sincerely, yours truly, or yours sincerely. Don't forget to put your name. so that the mayor knows who was writing this letter. Now you're ready to do exercise 16. In exercise 16, you will write the letter to the mayor of your town explaining your opinion about the skyscraper. Your letter should be about 100 words. So don't forget to count the number of words you have after you finish writing the letter. Good luck!